Porsche winning for the first time at the Hypercar class, first victory for Wayne Taylor Racing in the GTP era, a new Peugeot 9X8 Hypercar version with a rear wing, Chip Ganassi leaving Cadillac and joining a new manufacturer, and Sebastian Vettel testing with Porsche Penske Motorsport. So welcome everyone, this is the Sportscars news highlight in March. This is a new series in this channel which I will tell monthly all the highlights in the Sportscars racing. So let's check them now. Number 1. GT3 cars make their debut in WC. GT3 class was introduced this year because the GTE cars were discontinued after the end of 2023 due to the high costs. And with that we now have more manufacturers involved at the WC GT class. For example, Lamborghini, Lexus and McLaren finally joined the category because they didn't produce GTE cars officially. And also he had BMW and Ford returning to the WC GT class, joining Aston Martin, Corvette, Ferrari and Porsche, which they were competing until last year at the GTE AM class. And at Qatar round in WC, Motorland with Porsche 911 GT3 was the first team to win at the GT3 class in history, with Heart of Racing team finishing in second place and Station Racing in third, both with Aston Martin cars. Number 2, Alpine returns to the top class, while BMW, Isotta Fraschini and Lamborghini make their debut at the Hypercar class. At the Hypercar class we had also more manufacturers making their debut. Beginning with Alpine, which is actually returning to the top class because they competed in 2021 and 2022 but with an LMP1 adapted for the Hypercar class and used before by Rebellion Racing. And in this year the French manufacturer returned with its new LMDH car A424. Alpine made a good debut with A4242 with the number 35 finishing in 8th place, while the 36 crossed the finish line in 12th place. Both cars didn't suffer any mechanical issues. Who also made their debut at the WC Hypercar class was BMW with its M Hybrid V8. However, the German manufacturer disappointed at Qatar, considering that they have 1 year experience competing at the IMSA GTP class, and everyone was expecting that BMW would have been at least competitive at the top 10, but it didn't happen. The 20 crew finished in 11th place while the 15 finished in 15th place. Lamborghini is another manufacturer which made its debut in the Hypercar class at Qatar. It wasn't an easy task, and besides being far from the top 10, at least Squadra Corse didn't have any kind of mechanical issues and was able to finish the race. It's gonna be a step-by-step for Lamborghini to become very competitive. And finally, Isotta Fraschini also made its debut at the Hypercar class. However, unlike their opponents, Isotta Fraschini suffered with a hybrid issue during the formation lap and Jean-Carl Vernet stopped the car on the main straight. And at the 5th hour of the race, Isotta Fraschini withdrew from the race due to suspension damage. Number 3, first victory for Porsche at the Hypercar class. Still talking about WC's Qatar race, we finally had Porsche winning at the Hypercar since they returned to the top class in 2023. It was a very dominant week for the German manufacturer, considering they led almost all the sessions, including the prologue with Penske or Jota teams. And besides winning the race, Porsche did a podium at the Hypercar class, with the Penske team finishing in 1st and 3rd places with 6 and 5 crews respectively, and Hertz team Jota finished in 2nd place. Number 4, IMSA reveals 2025 season calendar. During the 12 hours of Sebring week, we had a huge surprise from IMSA with the category releasing the 2025 schedule. It was a surprise because the 2024 schedule was revealed last August during the Road America round week. There will be no changes to the 2025 schedule if we compare with this year, and no new venues were added. In other words, we'll still have 11 rounds next year, being 6 sprints and 5 endurance races. The early release of the 2025 season was to avoid potential clashes with other Sportscars categories like WC, Intercontinental GT Challenge and GT World Challenge. Number 5, Lamborghini also makes its debut at the GTP class in IMSA. Besides the WC Hypercar class, Lamborghini also made its debut at the IMSA GTP class with its LMDH prototype SC63. After not participating at the season opener at Daytona due for not being ready enough, the Squadra Corse made its first race at the IMSA top class at the 12 hours of Sebring race. And like it was in WC at Qatar, Lamborghini also didn't have enough pace to be fighting for the overall win, but at least the Squadra course could finish the race without any mechanical issue during the 12 hours of Sebring. The final results for Lamborghini Squadra course was 7th position at the GTP class. Number 6. Wayne Taylor Racing finally wins at the GTP class and also the first Acura's victory at Sebring. After finishing the 2023 season without at least a single win, Wayne Taylor Racing with Andretti finally won a race at the new GTP era at IMSA. And this was possible because Louis Delatraz was able to overtake Sebastian Bourdais at the last 10 minutes of the 12 hours of Sebring race with a spectacular move. With that, the car number 40 with Louis Delatraz, Jordan Taylor and Colton Herta was the overall winner at Sebring. Besides being the first victory for Wayne Taylor in the GTP era, it was also the first win for Acura in an overall position in Sebring history. Number 7. Super GT Preseason Tests at Okayama and Fuji. In mid-March, the Japanese Super GT category made 2 preseason tests at Okayama and Fuji circuits in preparation of the 2024 season. Beginning with Okayama test sessions, Toyota was the fastest manufacturer at the GT500 class thanks to the TGR Timo Tom setting a lap of 2 minutes and 34.953 seconds in a qualifying simulation, while at the GT300 class the APR team with a Lexus LC500H GT set the fastest lap of 2 minutes and 52.219 seconds. And at the Fuji test sessions, Honda was the fastest manufacturer in the GT500 class thanks to the ARTA Racing team with Civic Type R GT number 8 setting a lap of 1 minute and 27.834 seconds, and at the GT300 class, Muta Racing team with Toyota GR86 GT300 number 2 was the fastest car with a lap of 1 minute and 36.480 seconds. The first Super GT round will be held on April 14th with the Okayama GT 300 km race at Okayama International Circuit. Number 8. Porsche's Dream Team for Nürburgring 24. Porsche is not joking in Sportscars racing this year, and this also includes the 24 hours of Nürburgring. After winning Rolex 24 at Daytona, 12 hours of Bathurst and WC season opener for example, and also in focus to win Le Mans this year, the German manufacturer also wants to win the 24 hours of Nürburgring. For that, the Manthey EMA Motorsports revealed that the car number 911 will have a very strong team including 2 WC Hypercar drivers, besides a DTM champion and a 12 hours Bathurst winner. Hanjan Guven, Kevin Esther, Lawrence Vanthoor and Thomas Preining are the drivers chosen for the Grello car. Is it a big contender to win the race in Nürburgring? Number 9. Anthony Mantella leaves IMSA GTD class. This is a controversial story we had at the end of March. After just 2 rounds this year, Anthony Mantella decided to sell the AWA Car 17 Corvette Z06 GT3R. His allegation is that the car is not reliable and useless to compete. And because of it, for a while AWA will have only Car 13 for the rest of the season of the GTD class. This is controversial because Mantella decided to leave IMSA GTD in an unprofessional way, harming the AWA team and also the young driver Nico Veron. It's really a shame for the Argentinian driver considering that he was GTE AM champion last year in WC and he has a great potential to become a hypercar star in the future. We hope that Veron can find another seat as soon as possible. Number 10. Peugeot finally reveals the new 9X8 version with a rear wing. After very complicated seasons in 2022 and 2023, Peugeot comes with a new version of its LMH prototype 9X8 which includes a rear wing. The 2024 version also comes with new tire dimensions with 29 cm front and 34 cm rear tires, common with other hypercars manufacturers. And also 90% of its original bodywork was changed, and also Peugeot focused on reliability of gearbox and engine. Since Peugeot made its debut at 6 Hours of Monza in 2022, its best result until now was the 3rd place at the same track last year, and in Qatar, they almost finished at the podium if the refueling issue with the 93 car didn't happen. The 2024 version of 9X8's debut will be next month at the 6 Hours of Imola, which will be the 2nd round of WC this year. Will Peugeot finally be very competitive now? Number 11. Chip Ganassi leaves Cadillac at the end of 2024. This was the second most shocking news in March for all the Sportscars fans. At the beginning of the Sebring race week, Chip Ganassi and Cadillac surprised everyone with both sides deciding to part away at the end of the 2024 season at IMSA and WC championships. The partnership between Cadillac and Ganassi began in 2021 at the IMSA DPI class. Together, they won Detroit in 2021 with Ringer van der Zande and Kevin Magnussen at 01 car, and in 2022, they won 12 hours of Sebring with Alex Lynn, Earl Bamber and Neil Yanni at 02 car, and also with 01 car driven by Ringer van der Zande and Sebastian Bourdais at Long Beach, Detroit and CTMP rounds. And since 2023, Cadillac and Chip Ganassi Racing competed together with the LMDH prototype V Series R at IMSA and WC. And the partnership finishes at the end of this year. With that, what will be Cadillac's future? At IMSA, probably Action Express Racing will be operating a second V Series R, considering that they operate a single one since 2023. And at WC, United Autosports, TF Sport, Algarve Pro Racing, Inter Europol and Vector Sport are possible contenders to be the new team operator. And what about Chip Ganassi Racing? For a while, Chip Ganassi seems to be only competing at the IndyCar series only in 2025. However, according to the Autoweek website, there's a rumor that another manufacturer could be behind all this story. And I'm talking about Ford. The Blue Oval Company is rumored to be interested in a prototype program, but nothing official at the moment. Chip Ganassi and Ford had a successful partnership between them with the Ford GT at IMSA GTLM and WC GTE Pro classes between 2016 and 2019, with 13 victories at IMSA, being 2 at Daytona, and 6 wins at WC GTE Pro class, including the 24 Hours of Le Mans in 2016. But remember, this is just a rumor and there is nothing official at the moment. But would you like to see Ford competing at the top prototype class? Number 12. Sebastian Vettel tests for Porsche and could race Le Mans this year. This was the most surprising news this month, which was Sebastian Vettel testing for Porsche Penske team, and there is a possibility to see the 4-time F1 champion competing at Le Mans this year. Everything began on March 14th when Seb visited the Porsche Penske facility in Mannheim to meet the operations crew. One day after, the German driver did extensive simulation tests there to know the engineers and all the complex systems of the Porsche 963 car. On March 21st, Vettel drove for the first time the Porsche 963 car in-house test track at the Weissach R&D Center. His test was impressive because he did a lap time close to Laurens Vanthoor. And last week, Porsche Penske made a 36-hour endurance test at Motorland Aragon in Spain with all the 6 WC drivers alongside Sebastian Vettel and also Thomas Preining, the 2023 DTM champion. Sebastian Vettel completed 118 laps, equivalent to 581 kilometers, without any problems according to Porsche Penske. And of course, the 4-time F1 champion enjoyed the experience to test the Porsche 963 at Aragon. Driving the Porsche 963 on the track here in Aragon, that was definitely fun. I first had to get used to everything and find my rhythm. The driving experience is different simply because of the roof over your head, as well as dealing with the higher weight and the tires. The Porsche Works drivers were very helpful and explained to me what was special and what I needed to get used to. That made it easy for me, said Sebastian Vettel. And according to the Porsche Penske managing director Jonathan Deugwood, this was a very important test for the team in preparation for the Le Mans race. Aragon is one of the few places in Europe where we can run around the clock and gives us an opportunity to run 36 hours straight in preparation for Le Mans. Having Sebastian Vettel here is a unique opportunity for the team. He is a 4-time Formula One world champion. He has massive experience with hybrid systems and high-performance racing cars. Having his fresh, unique perspective on where the car is and gives feedback on our systems and performances is a unique opportunity. We are happy to have him here. He came out of the car with a smile, which is all good, said Jonathan Deugwood. Porsche Penske completed a total distance of 6,143 kilometers in a 36-hour endurance test at Motorland Aragon. However, it's not sure for a while if Sebastian Vettel will join the car number 4 at Le Mans this year, joining Mathieu Jaminet and maybe Felipe Nasser. Because first of all, we cannot discard the IMSA drivers like Nick Tandy and Felipe Nasser at the car number 4, considering that both drivers have been involved with the LMDH program since the beginning. And we can consider that Sebastian Vettel could be on Porsche Penske plans for the 2025 season in the WC Hypercar class. On the other hand, we still can see Vettel competing at WC this year because at the 6 hours of Spa-Francorchamps, Hertz Team Jota and Proton competition will have their drivers with date clashes with other series, with Norman Nato needing to compete at Berlin Eprix in Formula E and Harry Tinknell could be competing for Ford Multimatic at IMSA at Laguna Seca. So this could be a great opportunity to see Vettel replacing one of them and eventually to prepare for the 24 hours of Le Mans this year. And so what's your opinion about it? Will or not Vettel compete at Le Mans this year? So guys, these were the March highlight news in the Sportscars scenario. If you would like to see more videos like this every month, let me know in the comment section below. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel to not lose more videos about IMSA and WC. We see you in the next video.